It's a beautiful Christmas Eve when Mr. Williams gifted Mrs. Williams a cute, snow-white dog named Susie. Being childless for years, they found immense pleasure and happiness. Susie miraculously changed their life thereafter. The story is about a dog named Susie. Everyone knows that on hearing the name of a dog, a loyal dog comes to our mind. There's no doubt about it. This is the story of one such dog. A very happy home belongs to Mr. and Mrs. Williams. They were very happy with Susie. They used to play with her in their garden with a disc or ball. They used to go for morning walks. All three of them had a lot of fun together, as if Susie had become a member of their family. The three of them even used to eat together at the dining table. While giving food to Susie in the chair near her, Mrs. Williams starts caressing her back and says to Mr. William, "I wish there was a small child in our house too. Then Susie would have got another good friend, and my child would be happy with Susie. Could have been certain by leaving it nearby." After a few months, she got the news of happiness at home. Mrs. Williams had now become a mother, a beautiful little girl whom Mr. and Mrs. Williams named Tiara. One day, Mr. and Mrs. Williams bring their new happiness, their daughter Tiara, to their home and make Susie sit on the bed near Tiara. Slowly, Tiara starts crawling and sitting, and all day long, Susie also plays with her. Susie cared for and loved her child. Susie used to provide all her needs, like milk bottles, books, pillows, and toys. And sometimes, Susie used to become Tiara's pillow. Susie took such good care of Tiara that Mr. and Mrs. Williams sometimes used to leave Tiara at home with Susie for a certain time. Tiara has now turned 1-year-old, and there is a very sweet friendship between Susie and Tiara, as if both of them are sisters. Susie took care of Tiara with great love and affection. One day, Susie became a mother and gave birth to 4 puppies, out of which only one survived. Susie started loving her child as much as she loved Tiara, but now she accompanies Tiara less. She was able to play less, but Susie still loved Tiara the same and used to play with Tiara with her child. But Mr. Williams felt that perhaps Susie was taking more care of her child and less of his Tiara, so he thought of gifting Susie's child to one of his friends. Mrs. Williams did not agree to this, but Mr. Williams did not agree and gifted the puppy to his friend. Since then, Susie started becoming more and more depressed. Gradually, Mrs. Williams used to call Susie for breakfast every morning, but Susie would not come. Then, after calling her 2 or 3 times, she would come slowly but would not eat properly. The sequence continued like this for a few days. Gradually, Susie was neither giving much time to Tiara, nor playing with her, nor eating food. Seeing all this, Tiara also started feeling lonely and depressed. Mrs. Williams says that I am a mother, and now Susie is also a mother. So I can understand Susie's pain. We are responsible for her condition. We snatched her child from her just because she was unable to give much time to our child. But see, Susie still gives her time to play with her and take care of her, which was our responsibility. But Susie was happily doing on her own with our child. Being selfish, we tried to force her, and that took away her happiness. Well, listen, we were like a family, so when did we become so harsh towards Susie? We ignored her, broke her trust, and brought selfishness. It is not too late before Susie breaks all trust in us. We should give her back her happiness. If she is happy, then we all will be happy. Our daughter will also be happy. Mr. Williams felt very remorseful after hearing this. He understood his mistake and was also feeling very ashamed about this. He quietly went towards Susie and hugged her with both his hands. Tears came from his eyes, and he said softly to Susie, "Forgive me, Susie, I will bring your child to you very soon. Don't sit sad like this." Susie understood Mr. Williams' words and started licking Mr. Williams' hands lovingly. While coming from the office, Mr. Williams brought a very beautiful carrier after decorating it like a gift pack and kept it before Susie. Mr. Williams said to Susie, "See, I brought back your happiness in this. Such a lovely gift that you gave us. We will keep it very carefully now, and we'll love it as much as we love you and Tiara." And then Mr. Williams opened the carriage and took out the puppy and placed it in front of Susie, seeing her baby. Susie could not live anymore. Tears started flowing from Susie's eyes. She was licking her child very lovingly, and her child was also making so much noise as if he was telling his mother the sad story of living alone. Just then, Tiara also comes and hugs Susie and her child. Then Susie also starts licking Tiara lovingly. Seeing their love, Mrs. Williams says to Mr. William, "See, I told you that there will be no problem for anyone if Susie's child stays here, but all three will be very happy. After all, these three are our children." Mr. Williams says, "Yes, we humans sometimes become mean for our own selfishness. Then we neither see any relationship nor anyone's love, and this animal which we adopt as our own but sometimes do not understand their feelings. And these animals, without any selfishness, trust us and give so much love. Ha! We will never make such a mistake again." And again, like every day, early in the morning, Mrs. Williams calls Susie and Tiara. They all come together to play in the lounge and live happily ever after. So, friends, hope you like the story. For more such amazing stories and to encourage us, like and subscribe to our channel, Amazytube.